What's going on, everybody? Another video. Today I want to talk about is society engineering the new type of narcissist or a new type of narcissist. Before that, I want to give my condolences to the family of the late, great, one of the best to do it, Kobe Bryant, and his family, and also to the other lives that were lost in that tragic event as well. My prayers to all of them and their families. Sad thing, very sad, very sad thing, man. But I want to talk about people who encounter these types of narcissists. It's almost like a new type of narcissist is being produced, and we must consider that there are some basic bare necessities in life that are critical to our overall health, survival, and well-being. And one of the things that can deteriorate that very quickly are these toxic narcissistic type of people who have no regard for anything or anyone but themselves. And it seems to be a growing number of people today in society that are so out of touch with the importance and the respect of life and the privilege of human existence in general. And, these privileges and freedoms that we have in today's world came at a cost. They just weren't for free. A lot of bloodshed a lot of blood was spilled. A lot of pain, anguish, suffering to get to this point to where a lot of the freedoms that we share, that we are able to have here, was gotten, at least. And it almost seems that, many people now are spoiled, selfish, self-centered, especially for attention in today's society. And I've said this before, that the new world currency is attention. It almost seems like people are doing and will do anything for attention. And even with all these freedoms and privileges, we are quickly seeing a rapid increase in people taking things for granted. We're seeing the rise of entitlement mindsets, and it's growing quickly. With so much focus, being placed on, the latest this and the newest version of that, people are fixated on what's next. They're constantly in the state of looking for what's ahead, and that can be a very bad thing, because even walking, you have to look down at the ground to see where you're stepping. You can't just be looking off in the distance, because you won't know where to guide your steps. How many of you have heard of outrunning your headlights? Right? This is something when you're driving at night, and you're supposed to, at least, if you're going too fast, it's a dark road. It's a dark road, and they don't have it, any street lights or anything. You're supposed to be able to stop in enough time in the illuminated area ahead of you, at least. Outrunning or overdriving at high speeds, especially at night, decreases your visibility and reaction time, right? And this causes blind spot crashes, typically, because you don't have enough time to react. You're going too fast. You're not able to react to what's coming ahead of you. And this is where, I hear people say, you know, when it's time for people to go within and have introspection and all that. I mean, they really, a lot of times don't. They're not able to because they're too, well, it's the powers that be, at least within society, are constantly trying to cater to these insatiable desires of people that they've created within these people. And not knowing, but they or maybe they do know, they've created a monster. They have managed to socially engineer narcissistic people who are constantly being bombarded with all types of new stuff, products, entertainment, trends, and so forth and so on. And the attention and the drive and the motivation is completely consumed by that. And again, there is no introspection when it is made for a person to it's so much pressure, at least for them to stay up to date, to stay current, to stay with it, to stay, in touch. And well, they think they're in touch, but really they're not. They're being pushed and transformed to a point of being out of touch, very much so. Right? Think about back when, we had decades, when we had a trend or a style that would last for a whole decade. Now that's yearly. Things change up every year. When, music artists or whatnot. I remember seeing something about where there was an album that could come out and that album was still hitting even for a year. It still had the attention of the people, before all this social media and stuff came out. Now it's, they say you got to drop a mix and you drop an album, but you got to have a mixtape following up shortly after that, maybe a month or two after that, to stay relevant now, because people's attention spans are that much shorter. All right. How many of you remember, at least I remember, 30-minute driving to get your driver's test. It was like 30 minutes. You had to do a lot more to get it. Highway driving was mandatory. Now you can take the driver's test in less than 10 minutes. He's only going around the block. So what's with everything being so fast now? What's with the making everything so fast? And a lot of these things, as far as where people are able to recognize, what's right and what's not right and get a good feel for things, get lost. Because the pace that, is, it's lost in that fast pace, especially for those who aren't up to par to keep up with it. Everyone isn't at the same level. It's like you can't advance a classroom as a whole and move everybody on as a whole if all of the students aren't at the same level or ready or proficient enough to go on to the next level at the same time. Doing things that way, you'll be sure to create inferiority complexes from other students that's not up to par or cannot adequately keep up, but are still expected to perform in the higher degrees or levels, should I say, to keep them all on the same page. And, you know, afterwards, this will also lead to resentment. And that begets envy and then jealousy and then the, attention seeking to get the validation because they're feeling inadequate. It's a spinoff to a lot of other things that then they go into cheating and stuff like that. Um, yeah, everybody's not, and nor can everybody be at the same level. Everybody can't deal with rapid advancements. And the norm that society is trying to create is going to produce more and more narcissists by default. And that's my opinion. But if you just really pay attention and take a look at how things are going, take a look how things have been, and just look at how everything is. Like I said, with cell phones, there's a new version every year. Some people haven't had a chance to figure out all of the capabilities of the one that just came out that they just got. And then before the new one's coming in, and it's like the minds of people have been programmed to constantly seek and want the newest thing. Like they can't be content. It almost feels like, the way I see it in my mind, it seems like people would feel left behind if they don't rush at that fast pace that society puts on. Almost it's a demand to keep up with rapid advancements. And I believe this leads to detrimental endings. And it will also create a lot of narcissistic mentalities, mindsets amongst people. And you will begin and probably already starting to see more and more of it. It's just something to think about. I'm not going to go on and on rambling about this. This was just more something that I wanted people to pay attention to. Just pay attention to what is being fed to you, what is being pushed and promoted, especially when it comes to keeping up with something. Too fast. The advancements are like the analogy I gave, the example of driving at night and outrunning your headlights. You're bound to hit something, whatever it is that comes up, and you're not able to react in time. You're moving too fast. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this video. I hope whoever that was able to resonated with you, and it gives you something to think about. Hit the like button if you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. On one other thing, I've been getting emails about the link for the products and stuff that I have. Those have been all fixed. There was a glitch in there. All of the links have been fixed now, so everything's back up and good to go. And I recommend for like anybody who is new to the channel, one of the products of the Anti-Narcissist Awareness Training Academy ebook course. It's a course basically covering everything with narcissists from A to Z. That's a good way to start if you're new to the channel and new to the information that I put out. That'll get you caught up to speed on the jargon and all of the stuff that's used in there. It covers all of that, so it's pretty in depth. This quiz is in it as well. And I'll leave a link in the description box with all of the where you can look at all of the products that I have. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one.